do the podcast? Are you sure? Okay, well, welcome to Pokemon Masters Council. This is episode 40.
40, the big 4-0.
Yeah!
Welcome to the show. So, I'm your host, Gym Leader Justin. My co-host,
Zero, hello.
welcome. It's been a trip here. We had to get some coffee because we had a bit of a weather phenomenon. For people that don't know, we live in Michigan, so we had the blizzard of the century.
Yeah, we
come
did.
through.
We did.
Quite literally. But everybody's cool. Had a good Christmas, good holiday. Hopefully everybody out there had a great holiday. Shout out to all of our new subscribers. Shout out to all our old subscribers. Everybody. In fact, if you are watching this video, there's quite a few of you that aren't subscribed. We would really appreciate it if you hit that button right now, that big red button. We've been putting out a lot of content for Series 1, both singles and doubles VGC. We really, really appreciate it. We also put out here, as you see, every 2 weeks around on Friday, even during holiday season.
Even
we got you.
During holiday season.
We put out the podcast here on YouTube, and you can also listen to it where?
On Spotify, ladies and gentlemen.
So, today, main topic, we're going to be talking about revisiting Teras, now that we've actually had hands-on experience in a lot of different formats already.
Yep.
We've already had a ban list go off, so like in the official format in VGC for Series 1, so like all of this, we're going to be revisiting Tera types. It's the whole discussion about Terastallization altogether. But before we do that, I want to catch up with my buddy. What's up, man? How you been? How's your holiday? Start there.
Okay, so my holiday was good, but busy, and slightly scary because of all of the weather.
And you have a lot of family on both sides. And,
Yeah. So I got to work from home for the first time ever on Friday.
There you go.
And it was pretty awesome. We were super, super slow. I just answered a lot of phones and might have edited a how to use the rule edge guide in the background. Not going to confirm or deny that that's what I got paid to do on Friday.
May or may not have killed a delibird or two.
Yes, I may have slaughtered event delibirds for their sweet, sweet Tera
They
shard
gave us
spoils.
a lot of goodies.
Yeah.
That was awesome. If you guys missed out on that, you missed out on a lot of good prizes. Our pockets are full right now.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about this next thing in a minute. So my Christmas was good. Saw a lot of family. I'm seeing some more family actually this weekend of the podcast because the weather was so bad that we had to. My sister lives up in the top of the lower peninsula of Michigan, and we live closer to the bottom, so like she couldn't come down for the weather.
Yeah.
But it was good. I got a smartwatch.
Hey, there you go.
It's pretty cool. I've been texting people on it. I got some socks with Joe Burrow's face on them. Maybe
I know this morning he was like texting me. He's like, "Did you see my text?" I was like, "Oh no." Let me go get my phone. And I was like, "Oh, he's actually texting me." He's like, "Yeah, I got a new watch. Look." I was like, "Oh, okay. He wants to play with his new toy." I was like, "All right, I'll text."
It doesn't have Facebook Messenger, so if I'm at work, you got to text me for me to see it.
Yeah.
And it's got the tiniest keyboard ever made. And I'll see if I can even get it to show up on the
It'll take
screen.
like 10 minutes for a reply.
It does take a long time. This keyboard is
microscopic.
so small.
No stylus?
No stylus. Oh my god, dude! $1 million idea, man. But yeah, it was a good Christmas. So lots of family. I ate an embarrassing amount of food.
I know, dude. It feels like everywhere you go, everyone's like stuffing your face. You know, if you're rude, say no. But everywhere you go, it's just whether it's dinner or desserts, both.
I didn't get I never put myself into a food coma though, because I don't really eat red meat anymore. That would put me in a bad mood.
Yeah.
But I kind of avoid that now. But
I ate a lot of ham.
It was good. It was good. Well, yeah. So tell me about your Christmas.
Ham,
potatoes. Tell me, how'd you do? How'd it go?
It was pretty low key. It was fun. But the big thing in my world was, over the holidays, somebody out there was a, how do we put this? Well, Brandon, a long time ago there was question in the community when we were youngsters. Long time ago. It's going to show how old we are. Pirates versus ninjas.
Pirates versus ninjas. Well, I mean, that's a tough one to answer, but
What was your answer?
We were Team Pirate.
We were Team Pirate.
We were Team Pirate.
So there was a pirate in the Warhammer community.
Oh.
And this person must have had some sort of NDA, non-disclosure agreement. For people that don't know, I do play Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. Go check that out. It's a booming environment right now. If you are in the greater Grand Rapids area, go check out Far Harbor Gaming out in Rogers Plaza on 28th Street. That's where we have everything set up. We are going to have our first tournament in February. More details in upcoming podcasts. But basically, every 6 months, it used to be every year. Now it's every 6 months. We get like a patch, like a big patch, like a video game would. Right. Sort of like a capture the flag type game is what we play.
Yeah.
With our models. And it's basically new missions on where to put the flags and how many and special rules for more or extra points and blah, blah, blah.
We'll get a little bit of gameplay tweaking.
Yeah. That all got leaked from somebody in the community that was gotten early access. Don't know who that is, but now it's all out. So
wait, do you really not know who it is? Or?
No, genuinely have no idea who it is.
Oh, okay, it's not like a Pearl enthusiast.
No, we
kind
have,
of like
I don't know.
Who knows? It wasn't Pearl enthusiast.
No, I don't know who it is.
Central
but
Leaks.
It must, because the only people that have access to this are people that have early access, because it would be, if it's scheduled to come out on the 14th, which means on the 7th would be, that's how they do their pre-orders, is a week later, or a week early, they do like a preview thing, and that's when the NDAs can lift for people to start releasing their video content to try to generate hype to sell the book.
Yeah.
Because it's an actual physical book that they buy. But now all the rules are out there, so literally, as I got here, he was like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, literally watching like a live stream of people going over the brand new rules. So, super hype in the Warhammer world. Everything's big and crazy. For people that are long time listeners of the show, you know that, I play dwarves. I have all 3 factions, and you know that I've been playing the Sky Dwarves for a while. But we're taking a big right turn and playing a whole new faction this next coming season. It looks like we're gonna be really, really good. So putting the Sky Dwarves on the shelf.
Oh, rest in
peace. Ships are gonna go on the dock for at least a tournament or 2. I'm gonna play the Fire Dwarves.
Okay.
So bunch of fire dragon running around in the lava.
I don't see the issue here.
A bunch of dwarves with big giant mohawks and great axes. Super, super, super strong. Gonna be a lot of fun. So
I gotta. Before we move on.
No, yeah. Anything, bro.
I gotta plug some more.
So Zero.
Stuff.
You also have something else to plug too, which we might have to edit in or out. But the fact of the matter is you made me really jealous with something.
Oh boy, is it my sign?
Yeah, because now I have to get one.
Okay. So all right, we got a couple other Christmas gifts to show you guys. Hold on. It's right here. I got this sign here, and let me. Oh, we got an open spot to plug this in right here. So this is gonna go behind me on the wall. Once I get it all painted and stuff.
The wall, not the sign.
There we go.
Hey!
Yeah. So this bad boy.
So you didn't go purple.
No.
Oh,
are you gonna go green?
I'm gonna go green. I have to.
So we got this sign. This is gonna go on the wall behind me after I paint it, but it's all gray right now, so it's gotta be painted still. So, Justin, you're gonna get one of these bad boys?
Oh, I have to now. I'm so jealous. I love it. I think it's great. It's awesome. I really want one. I think it's a great idea. It looks awesome. We have to talk about what mine's gonna be. Whether it's gonna say Justin or Gym Leader Justin or whatever. Probably gonna cost more if I have more words, but we'll see. It'll at least say Justin on the back. And it'll be green. And maybe we can get one in the future that says, like, PMC.
So, last couple things I got to plug for all you Pokemon fans out there. I got the Zoroark V-Star promo box. Just going to show off. I didn't really get much cool stuff. But here's the Zoroark V-Star. Really, really cool. Really sharp. Came with a V as well.
Super, super crisp.
And my highlight pull...
Big fan.
...was the black... Calyrex VMAX.
Let's go.
Black and blue with
Smash
gold.
that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you like these big shout outs here on the podcast.
That's, I don't know, that was kind of worth. And I also got a Cleavor V. And
there's some really good stuff. You did get the Arcanine. I think you talked about that in the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So anyway, let's talk about the news. Let's
there's been some exciting stuff going on. So Series 1 has been popping off. We have until the end of January. And this is obviously the last podcast of the year.
Yeah.
So we do have one more month of the brand new year, 2023, coming up of Series 1, and then in February, presuming if all goes according to plan, we'll get Series 2. We don't know what that will be yet, but that still means we got a couple weeks of Series 1 with these rules, and it's been kicking off. We've been putting out a lot of content. We put out a couple different battle vids in the past 2 weeks since the last podcast.
Yeah, and one of them was incredibly hype. Highly suggest you go watch that. So... No. We had two VGC videos.
Yeah, we
did two VGC videos.
We had two VGC videos. We did the Murkrow battle video where Murkrow actually popped off in a rental squad.
Yeah, I got a bunch of
And
KOs.
we did on the Showdown. That was on cartridge. And then on Showdown, we did the Series 1, our homemade PMC Rain squad featuring Caesar popping off in the rain. Palafin also doing work in the rain.
That video was so hype. It was so fun. And we have a PokePaste for if you want to use a rain team on Showdown and play some Series 1. Hop in there and use this. We also did some how to use guides. So we are super proud of these how to use guides. We really want you guys to go check these out. We got Palafin.
Yeah, so you can go check out how to use Palafin as well as the battle video featuring Palafin. Yep. One of those main sets in the rain.
And then we've got Cerule Edge.
Yeah, buddy.
And then
Cerule Edge is also in the Murkrow.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of Cerule Edge in the last 2 weeks.
And then this last one is also in the Murkrow video as well. Another feature.
We got Garchomp. So
Garchomp, how to use from your boys over at the PMC. Go check those videos out. All of those will be in the description. You can check out all of the links down here and go click those buttons right after you click subscribe.
Yes, please. Pretty please. So I did want to mention one thing I kind of alluded to before was, okay, so we talked about the Delibird raid event, right?
Yeah. Got a lot of good prizes.
This weekend is the level 100 Fighting Tera Cinderace raid.
Yeah.
So by the time you're hearing this, those raids might be live. It sounds like Azumarill is going to be a key contributor to helping you get those again. So
just hitting those play roughs.
Yep. So get your Azumarill, and be ready because this will be the only way
Give it all
you
the
can
candies
get
you got. Get it level at least 90.
Yep.
Probably you want 100, but at least 90 to get in there and really actually stand a chance.
This is the only way that you can get Cinderace
for now
until home.
And again, when we do get the Cinderace for real, they'll be naturally fire. Because, again, Scorbunny's not part fighting. He's just fire, and it is a starter, so it'd be fire anyways as the base type.
Oh, my God, those Pyro Balls.
But this one is the fighting, so this one is how you get, the high jump kick, or maybe they'll give it close combat or drain punch.
Stop.
This is that Cinderace. So if you want fighting type Cinderace, again, with Libero, so the new Libero, so it's like the Protean, so questionable on its... But the fact that you still could have that fighting type stab could be really, really strong. And if you want that, get them now. Get with your friends. It's, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah. And I heard that you can't breed these.
I know us PMC are going to be on Saturday trying to get ours.
You can't breed these. You can't
Correct.
You can't trade them either.
You can't trade them.
So the only
it's
way
just
is to
like
get
the
them from
Charizard.
Yep. All right. So what else we got, buddy?
So there's been a couple of videos in the community that we're just super, super hype. We want to plug real quick and shout out in case you guys aren't aware of what else is out there, what you should be subscribed to. The Choice Specs Arbalava set from Joey, PokeMD.
Oh, yeah.
Super, super strong. We featured Arbalava on our channel as well back in that's like my staple with, it used to be Comfy Gudra using Sap Zipper. Now it's with the Cat and Petal Blizzard, but Arbalava with the grassy terrain. Go check that out. It's super awesome. What have you been watching?
So, don't ask me why. Well, I mean, you know why, but I've been really gravitating towards Blunder.
And we've been trying to feature this Pokemon too.
Yeah, and he did a Mabostiff vid.
Yeah,
Stake Up Mabostiff. I want to after I watched that, I was like, I need Stake Up.
He's good, bro. I told you, he's so good. I've
been watching a lot of Blunder, and it's just I've been watching a lot of Blunder because he wasn't posting very much towards the end of Gen 8 because I feel like he didn't. I mean, I'm not going to speak for him, but I feel like he didn't take the YouTube game seriously. But then when Gen 9 came around, he was like, all right, I'm going to commit to this.
Got hit with a wave.
This is going to... He was like, all right, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to do this YouTube thing. And I got a lot of respect for him for that. Because, he's making this his job, and he's doing a really good job, and he's making great videos, and they're funny. So, like, I've just been gravitating towards a lot of Blunder content lately.
Yeah. He's really funny, too. So
Dante Corleone.
And, no surprise, Joey and Blunder, they always do stuff together.
Yeah.
We watch them. So, kind of, if you can't tell, sort of inspires this channel.
Yes.
Of like, when they did their duos, we were like, we just do that all the time.
Yeah, we could just literally do a whole channel of that.
So, I need to refill real quick, and then we can come back and talk about some terastallization.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. We'll talk to you guys in just a minute. Alright, so we're back, and we're here to talk a little more Series 1 / just Pokemon meta in general. So,
yeah. Tera types. So, terastallization, new gimmick. We had Dynamax. That's gone. That's old news.
Rest in peace.
That's the ex-girlfriend. We're on to the new one. The
wow.
new shiny one, right?
Yeah, wow.
So,
yeah. Dynamax, she got a little crazy towards the end. A little clingy.
So, Tera types, we're going to have a lot of fun here because a lot of our predictions were pretty darn close. A few were spot on, and a couple were absolutely wrong. And we love to actually point that out, too.
We got one big
one
that
we did not see coming.
One big part of it we got wrong.
Yeah. But we're basically talking about what our experiences are: the good, the bad, the ugly, the big boys in the meta, the big threats, both for 3v3s as well as VGC. For people that don't know, we both play everything. We love to play all pokes, but for sake of the channel, you lead our singles division, and I sort of lead our doubles division. It's just how it falls.
Yep.
So, in both of our respective metas, as it were, a lot of these are true, but I think it's interesting pointing out some of the differences too.
Yeah, I think so too. So when it comes to terastallization, I guess what we will begin this conversation with is we're going to go back a little bit, probably 2 months ago, maybe even more, to when we posted a video and it was just terastallization, what we know and how it could affect the meta. So back then, by the time we didn't know everything about terastallization at that time, but based on what we knew, we thought, okay, our biggest takeaway was offensive double dipping into your own Tera to get like the triple stab was going to be the meta. It was going to be the game-defining, game-breaking way to play Pokemon.
Double dip priority. And that, in some aspects, is true. There are some Pokemon that is a viable strategy, but it's not nearly as heavy as what we thought it would be. But it is true when it's true.
And then the other thing, it kind of came to light after that video came out, was when you terastallize, and you already know this by now. So say you're a Tyranitar, okay? You're dark and you're rock. If you terastallize into a ghost type, you get that third stab, you keep both of your original stabs, so you have 3 stabs, and your defensive typing has shifted primarily, or only, to the ghost type defensive properties.
Yeah.
So that really opened up the idea of Tera types, because we thought maybe, okay, well, what if I Tera type into a ghost type and I don't get a stab for it?
The defensive options are so much more prevalent and so much more numerous than what we had anticipated. We thought it'd be maybe 60-40 in offensive favor. It's like 70-30, it feels like sometimes, in defensive favor in certain squads. Like, it's crazy how many times people prioritize the defensive over. There are still some offensive, we'll talk about that, but like, it definitely exists. Like, we're not gonna joke around and act like it's not a huge threat in the meta. Some of the biggest threats in the meta are from double dip stabs.
Yeah. So here's basically the reason you're using terastallization, the main reason you're using terastallization at this moment is to basically counter meta.
Yeah.
Where, like, okay, you're trying
to go for either a gotcha moment because it's a best of ones.
Yep.
And or you're trying to preserve maybe not the, but it could be but a key feature of your team for longer than you're supposed to. That's like the key thing. If you're not going to go for just the stock standard, like day one read of Tera is, how to use it offensively, which we talked about ad nauseum. But in terms of defensive, this is like the training mode, right?
Yep.
You go for, what do you want to have your key feature be, and how do we make it survive for as long as possible? In terms of like King Gambit, he's weak to fighting. So or Tyranitar, he's weak to fighting. So a lot of people are talking about it at the beginning, which is still true about making them ghost.
Yep.
Because then the fighting type becomes immune.
Yeah.
Super valid.
Super viable.
But both of these characters are also weak to ground. And Garchomp is the biggest menace he's ever been.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah,
He is the premier example of the offensive power of Tera in terms of the double dip stab. Tera ground with Earthquake.
The only time Garchomp has been better is when he was banned to Ubers.
Yeah.
When he was banned to Ubers in Gen 4. So like
Gen 4.
He's the best he's been since he's been banned to Ubers.
Since he's been into the game.
Yes.
So, so taking King Gambit and Tyranitar in a meta where Garchomp's everywhere and very strong. Not to mention there's a lot of other Pokemon that are viable and strong in the meta that use ground type moves.
Yep.
Flying type for both of these characters, because then it's not immunity, but it does resist the fighting type. So it goes from ×4 on the Dark Rock or Dark Steel to now resist on the flying, and now you're immune to the ground.
Yeah, and that is like strictly defensive, like
yes.
that's that defensive, and you said, we're seeing that like 70% of the time. We're seeing
and it's just it's an interesting thing you can do, and I've used that before with like a buddy system with my own Garchomp to allow it to set up Swords Dance in VGC with Pachirisu and make the Pachirisu flying.
Mm-hmm.
You could also give it an air balloon, but then that could be popped. So by Tera flying, and he has Volt Absorb.
Right. So it's like,
you try to electric attack him. Well, I'm immune to it.
Yep.
So you have to, but then, there's a lot of interesting usage. What else have you seen? What other cool, like, defensive shout-outs you got?
So, we'll talk about some more Pokemon, like, specifically.
Yeah.
The NetNavi twins, Cerulege and Armarouge. In VGC, it's very common to see both of those turn into a grass type.
Yeah. Fire types especially love to turn into grass type, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, because
it's just like the triangle we've played with since we were kids.
Yeah.
All three of the starter types are actually legit amazing at just Tera ending each other.
Yeah, because like the biggest cores to play with, like the biggest offensive cores are Fire, Water, Grass. Well, I mean defensive as well, but the biggest cores are Fire, Water, Grass, and then Fairy, Steel, Dragon. So it's that's a big one. You lose that weakness to ground, you lose that weakness to rock, you lose that weakness to the 2 priority moves. Yeah, you do become weak to more things, but like poison, poison and flying are not common offensive types unless you're up against like a rain team. Mm-hmm. That's where you see those, and then you'll see some ice on the rain team, like Ice Punch Palafin and things like that. Skeledirge, another fire type that loves to turn into grass, as well as Fairy. I see a lot of Fairy because you're not usually going to throw a Steel or a Poison move into Skeledirge because he resists both of those as a Ghost Fire.
Yeah.
And then Fairy.
Unless you outplay yourself and expect it to go grass and you throw a Poison trying to hit it super effective.
I can't say I haven't done that. I can't say. I literally had that with...
You're bad for not making that play!
I may or may not have made that claim about my opponents before.
You're bad!
Dude, yeah. I may or may not have said that before about people not Tera-ing into things, but... I digress. So,
it's an interesting mind game that we play because anyone can Tera and it could be any type. So you're really, and then we play best of one. So this is the gotcha game.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yep.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes you're going to get got, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to move on to the next one. And it's harder to grind this time.
But sometimes you're going to got them.
Sometimes you're going to get them. Yep.
Garganical turning into a ghost type. That is something that I've been using. I featured that on the channel when we borrowed Regs 13's singles. That is a super, super strong type. You know,
I like Gyarados' ground type. I like, because then now he's immune to his ×4. Yep. I like things like Caesar being ×4 to fire, turning into a water.
Right.
Or a fire himself. I like that.
Water's kind of like the all-rounder for like defensive type. Like if you're like...
Water and steel.
Right. If you're like, I'm not sure what I want. Like if you want to just get rid of something and
Steel's probably the best defensive type in the game. So, like, tearing into Steel is, like, probably the best defensive option for most Pokemon in the game.
Yeah, and then if you want to take something with a bunch of weaknesses or some ×4s, just turn them into water.
Yeah.
Because, like, being a water type is never bad. So, like, Annihilate, one of his most common...
Super good.
One of his most common Teras is water.
Because it gives him a good defensive typing as well as offensive stab.
Yeah.
Because then, whether he runs... I think he just runs Terra Blast. He might have Liquidation.
Sometimes they don't even run it at all. Because it depends. Like,
but it's a good coverage option.
Right. And then if you're, if you're Assault Vest, yes, you run Terra Blast. But if you're not, then you just run...
Protect.
Like, Protect or Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Rage Fist, and then...
Bulk Up, baby. This
Ice
boy
Punch,
loves Bulk Up. Let's go.
Yeah, hey.
Let's go.
It's on our Cerulege set.
So, we talked about the fact that there are some offensive threats, and it's like still some of the best threats in the game are there because of the fact that they double dip.
Yeah.
But there are some mons that also Terra offensively for what we talked about, the triple stab. So I guess I'll sort of start us off here with Hydreigon because it's the best example in my brain, especially coming from VGC.
I agree.
So he's dark and dragon type normally. A lot of times what you see in VGC, most of the time, sometimes you'll see steel, but most of the time you'll see Terra Fire in doubles. And because he learns Heat Wave, which is a spread move.
Yep.
So he also does learn like Flamethrower, Overheat, lots of good moves actually. He can learn Tailwind, crazy stuff. Now he gets Dragon Dance for if you want to run physical, but I digress. He does get the Flash Cannon for the steel. But stab dark. So when you Terra into fire, you're not giving up any damage that you were doing the turn before when you were just Dark Dragon type. When you Terra Fire, that Dark Pulse or that Draco Meteor still hits just as hard as it did last turn. You're not taking anything away by buffing up the fire move and Heat Wave. Yep. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's really important to think about that in the conversation of Terastallization, is that you can absolutely just unlock that third door and run triple stab, protect 3 stabs.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So now you have Stab Snarl or Stab Dark Pulse. Amazing coverage, especially for all the psychics that are part normal now.
Yep. So it's Indeedee.
Not to mention Ghosts.
Things like Armor Rouge. Yep. Size spam is really popular. It's like Indeedee and Armor Rouge, Giraffe Cerulege. Like there's a lot of examples.
Cerulege and Armor Rouge both, like you said. Yeah, you have really good examples. Size spam is very powerful right now. So then on top of that, the Draco Meteor, absolutely insane. It one-shots every dragon in the game.
Yeah.
And none of the dragons are going fairy right now. Like,
no, not really.
Realistically, it's not really a thing.
The only one that I've seen really go fairy is Dragapult.
Oh, you have seen that?
But that's 3v3s. 3v3s, okay. Most of the time, they're Ghost.
Steel
I've
seen,
okay. Oh, and Salamence. Because there's so many dragons right now. When you if you got Dragon v Dragon and one of them turns into a fairy, well, guess what? They win. So, like, when I've seen them build specifically to counter dragons.
But Draco does so much damage. Like, and even if it goes to Terra Ground, the Draco will still just one-shot the Garchomp.
Yep.
So Draco is kind of I like it. I really like having that option there. And then again, Heat Wave. So being able to have this triple stab for Hydreigon, or using that as the idea, platform for this part of the conversation, the triple stab. Being able, you're already good with your dual stab, you just want a third one. And in Hydreigon's case, the fact that he has Levitate instead of being a flying type, so then his fire, he's immune to the ground, weakness, and then he also, times 4 weak to fairy, and now fire type, he resists it. So, like, there's a lot more going for it than just offensive. It's actually, like, best of both worlds for him. That's why it's so popular. But what other triple stabs can you think of? What other good examples have you used or have you seen people use?
So, my favorite Pokemon to use in Tera for a triple stab right now is Gallade.
Oh, okay.
So I really like Gallade. The set I've been running is I like an adamant set because I like to just smash things. Jolly can work too. But I'm running sharpness boosted Sacred Swords, which is a base 135.
Yep.
I think with sharpness.
Yep.
I think that's before stab. It's 135.
It's insane. And it cuts through all the defenses, so goodbye Garganacl.
Yep.
That aren't ghost.
I've been running.
And if they are ghost,
then I like to Tera Dark and use Night Slash.
Yeah, high crit chance. I'm actually using this almost exact same Gallade on our. We're testing, but the squad that I showed you. So I'm doing like a crit Gallade. He doesn't learn focus energy, unfortunately. It's really sad, but he does get a lot of high crit moves, and you just run high crit items. So then he has 50% crit chance on basically all his moves except for Sacred Sword.
Yeah,
and he just cut everything, dude. It was insane. Because when you crit, you also go through like stats and
So you when you crit, you cut through your own attack drops and an opponent's defensive increases. So basically, it brings everything unless you're burned. Burned is the only time.
Yeah, it brings it all to neutral. Otherwise.
But yeah, I like to run Gallade with a triple stab. I'm running him in Dark Tera, so I've got Night Slash, Psycho Cut, and Sacred Sword as my stabs.
Psycho Cut, another crit move. Physical, goes really well with DD on Psychic Terrain.
Sharpness boosted. The other move I've been running.
Very strong.
I've been running Ice Punch for all the dragons.
Oh yeah, he learns all 3 punches, so great coverage there.
Yep. So that's my favorite. Choice? No, Focus Sash.
Focus Sash, okay.
I'm kind of this belief.
I'm running Scope Lens.
I'm of this belief right now in 3v3 that you cannot lose a Pokemon turn 1.
Yeah.
So I lead with him a lot.
Gotcha. You don't want to,
And I sash him because, like, you cannot afford to lose the momentum that fast in 3v3. You need to have some time. There needs to be time for the game to develop, and if you lose a Pokemon turn 1,
you're in a bad spot.
You don't have that time.
One that we talked about on the channel, Kilowattrel. Go check out the description.
Yes.
Kilowattrel going Tera, Electric and Flying, they're both good, but going Tera Water has actually been proven to be really, really effective. We used him on a lot of our teams for being Tailwind, but on one of the teams, on our Rain team, actually, go check that video out. He is there with Life Orb competitive, Adrenaline Orb competitive. We're running the Weather Ball set.
Yeah.
So the Electric is great, Flying's great, and then you just make him Water also, so then that's great as well.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful.
And then we had mentioned on our set guys about going Ice as well, because then you've got that Bolt Beam coverage. Like Ice and Electric is
very strong.
Still strong. It's been
and then
strong.
Flying is amazing. So yeah, there's so many good options.
Yeah. And then another one that I have been running.
Yeah.
Justin has been helping me out in the process of making an Abomasnow. That doesn't suck.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is tough. We've come to the conclusion that
he's got a couple options though defensively.
Yes. So
the typing will actually dramatically change his viability.
I am running Tera Ground Abomasnow. So
and I've been repping the Tera Fire.
Yep. So with the Tera Ground, he has access to Earthquake, which is stronger than running Tera Blast, stronger than Tera Fire. So that's part of the reason I use it.
Yep.
Because no one's going to throw an Ice or a Grass move into an Abomasnow. They're usually going for those Steel moves. So when you Tera Fire, you resist the Steel. But I've built mine kind of bulky with an Adamant Nature so that you can just Tera, and then hit something really, really hard if you have to.
Yep.
Stab. Earthquake is pretty strong on him because it hits those Steels and those Fires that want to come in and take him out.
See, and that's why I do Tera Fire, because then not only does it give you an option to Tera Fire into Steel types, it also resists Steel type.
I think they're both great options for him. I love the Fire and I love the Ground. I think they're both amazing options because then you just run Veil and your coverage.
I like Glamora. If she can go grass, of course I like grass type.
Yeah.
Arbalova going fairy with Dazzling Gleam and doubles is very strong.
Pardon me. So I had to say something about Arbalova. Envy had the most genius set for Arbalova, and it was, because it's part normal, he's got Tera Blast down there as well as his grass option, and then it's beautiful because when he's not Tera, he gets a normal stab boost from Tera Blast, because it's a normal type move.
Yeah.
Then when he turns Tera Fairy, he gets a Fairy stab. So it's like, okay, that's some next level genius from that guy. That's pretty awesome. From that guy. So yeah, I really like that one.
So let's talk about the other, the third kind of category of terastallization, the other usage of Tera typing. That'll be the double dip. So this is what we talked about at the beginning. This is what we thought would be like the biggest contender, and it is sometime. Some of the examples are some of the biggest contenders in the game.
Yeah.
So these are the people that will take one of their two typings that they start with, Tera into one of those two, now giving it the extra boost that we've already covered before. But so you get the stab boost, the Tera, and then you get a special extra boost for being adjacent with both.
Yep.
So the big one that we already talked about was Garchomp. So he's already ground dragon. So then he Tera's ground. So defensively he loses the dragon type. But now you get the double dip power under Earthquake. And a lot of people are even choice band.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people go Murkrow, Murkrow Tailwind.
Yeah.
And then they're choice banded in a Tailwind, Terra Ground, Stab.
Choice band Earthquake. And then Murkrow's fine because he's flying type.
Yep, and then, there's Air Balloon Golden Go.
There's Levitate Pokes.
Levitate Rotoms. Yeah. It's...
Go check out the Garchomp guide if you want to know all about that tech.
That one is madness. That one's madness.
It's really, really powerful. That's why the double dip is powerful. It's that special hidden boost.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone knows about Stab. Everyone knows about the Tera boost.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the special link between the two when you combine the two that some people don't know exists.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really know what to call it. So we call it the double dip.
Yep.
When you're double dipping into that type,
PMC trademark, double dip.
You get a special boost. So this is the double dip ice cream cone.
Yeah.
So, bro, the number one used Pokemon in all of VGCMP Analytics. Goldengo. And he goes Terra Steel, double dip, spread move, make it rain. And he just throws coins on everyone.
Yeah, it's funny you notice a lot of Pokemon, a couple of the top Pokemon here. So we got Goldengo. This is a Pokemon that Terra's into Steel. So for the double dip.
Garchomp, number 3.
Garchomp, double dip.
There's Hydreigon. That is an example of the triple stab.
Oh, and then here's another one we kind of wanted to talk about right here.
Yep. So Sylveon first. Sylveon is amazing because she gets physical and special moves that are normal, which then become fairy because of Pixelate, and then it also becomes boosted because of Pixelate, and then Stab, and then Tera, and then the double dip boost.
Yep.
So she gets Hyper Voice, which is a spread move, as well as Quick Attack. So now she has a priority move with all of these buffs. It actually hits really hard, even though she only has a 65 physical attack and never invests in it.
Yeah.
It's still a very strong Quick Attack with one of the strongest. Having a priority fairy move is actually, terrifying.
Yeah.
That's so scary. It checks so many Pokemon.
You know what?
And counters even a couple.
Another reason why Sylveon's great is because now it goes back to that defensive thing we were talking about where it can turn into a fire type and then resist steel moves, and it's not weak to poison. So
and still has, even though it's not the double dip or the Tera, it's still Pixelate and Stab Quick Attack. So that's still powerful too.
Yep.
Speaking of Fire, the boy, Hoenn Rep.
All right, Torkoal. So what's the strat around Tera Fire Torkoal?
Eruption. 37% usage.
That's the end of the episode.
So basically, this is the strongest fire move in the game. It is. Eruption is just the strongest fire move in the game. And on Torkoal, in the sun. This is one of the strongest moves in the game, not over any typing.
Yeah.
It only hits your opponents, not your allies. It goes based off your health. The higher your health, the stronger it is. It's incredibly powerful. Sun boosted is insane. A lot of times we run charcoal like we've seen in prior generations.
Yep.
It's absolutely asinine. I'm not going to shout them out now, but I will say we have something cooking really, really special. Zero, what's my favorite generation? My favorite region?
Hoenn.
3rd gen, Hoenn. That's all you're going to get for now. Also, in the conversation of common double dip users, I actually don't see it too often, but I have run it myself. I like King Gambit, double dipping to Dark for those sucker punches. Wow, bro, let me tell you what.
It's the most common Tera type, and Sucker Punch is the most common move.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I really actually do want to shout out that I like the idea, as crazy as this seems, in certain team comps, Tera Rock T-Tar actually isn't bad. I know it's me saying it, that sounds crazy.
Super strong rock slides. Looks like flying as well, but rock is there.
Rock is number 2.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of, we've run it before, and we talked about it in our own guide, but the choice banded Shadow Sneak from Cerule Edge.
Yep.
The Phantom Force from Dragapult.
Yep.
Like you've run.
This Tera Ghost is what I see on Dragapult the most, just for like super strong Tera boosted Shadow Balls. It's a really, really safe option.
Tera Ice Back Excalibur with Stab, Double Dip boosted Tera boosted Ice Shards.
And Icicle
Spear
with loaded dice.
Which is insane.
That's the 3v3 wave right now.
So busted.
Yeah.
So busted. So yeah, there's a couple more if we scroll down that list. Really, really, really cool stuff. Oh yeah, we've definitely seen the Flamigo go Tera fighting. Double dip there with either close combat or whatever after they come in and use their boost with Co-Star.
Yep.
Really strong Pokemon, actually. There's
seen
a
this
reason
one.
he's got such high usage.
I've seen this one.
The mouse.
Tera normal population bomb.
It's annoying.
It's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
I literally played a game one time. It was literally them going Tera normal population bomb. They clicked it 3 times, and that was the whole game.
Wow.
I lost to 3 Tera normal boosted population bombs.
There's nothing you can do.
Right out of the get.
I really like we've obviously used it, but the Palafin with water.
Yes.
Huge jet punches in the rain, baby.
Yep.
Azumarill going water or fairy, double dip for the Aqua Jet with huge power, or double dip for the Play Rough, depending on your flavor or what your team might need, 3/3, or VGC. And then Breloom, whether he goes Tera Grass for those, for all the powder moves in VGC, obviously him being a Spore user himself, he could go fighting for the priority of the Mach Punch, which we've talked about before on the channel, or, obviously if you go Grass, then he can run his own loaded dice along with Technician and Bullet Seed. And then there's also the Caesar, which we've run on the channel, obviously with Steel Bullet Punch. We talked about this day one.
Yeah,
with Tera.
This
is the guy.
Yeah, this is the set.
Salamence right there. He's actually a really strong double dip user in my opinion, because he does get dragon hits, and he's one of the few. Let's go, baby! The bold, the dual wing beats that actually transferred through, even though it was an Isle of Armor tutor. Kind of got 86 this gen, and now you only get it by, natural level up or breeding. And they gave it to Salamence. So that 135 physical attack, double dip, stab to flying, so you're still immune to all of those ground type moves in the meta. And now those dual wing beats, hitting twice, breaking subs, breaking sashes. Yep. It's very, very powerful. Even if you know what I like? Sub DD and that. Yeah, bro.
You're speaking my language here now.
With Moxie.
Oh my god.
Sub DD, dual wing beat, and then what would you do for your last one? Would you Earthquake?
I would go Earthquake.
You go Earthquake?
I would go Earthquake.
It's a set I was working on. I'm springing this on him live. Do you see his reaction? He's like, oh yeah!
That's an Earthquake for me.
This is our relationship. I just throw something wild. He's like, oh, I can run with that.
Yeah, oh, bro, I got this thing.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
I like that.
So, Yeah.
Closing thoughts on Teras, buddy. This is a super fun conversation. Really relevant to the topic right now because it is being suspect tested right now in Showdown. Probably going to go.
Probably. Hopefully not.
As for us on the channel, regardless, we're going to be able to keep playing with it because we, on the cartridge especially, like the things that we play on cartridge are either the 3v3 or the VGC. And it's not going anywhere unless we have a series that gets away from it. So, special shout out real quick for you, or anybody that wants to throw your answer down in the comments. It's not really a question of the day, just sort of a fun pontification at the end of this episode. If we do, at some point, get a series without Tera types for 3 months, where, like, you can't terastallize, is what I mean. How crazy would that be? Like, what do you think? Would that be cool? Would that be fun? Would you hate it? Would you love it? Give me your rating out of 10. 10 being you love it, 0 being, even though you're 0, 0 being you hate it.
I would...
3 months, nobody can terastallize. 3v3 or VGC.
I'd be super indifferent because I would build a lot of Pokemon for their Tera types and against certain Tera types. However, I do think that a pure, quote-unquote, a pure format...
For 3 months.
For 3 months is fine because we had that in Gen 8, and that I actually...
You see that? That's how you tell he's a master. He's like, I rolled the punches. I don't care. Let's go. We adapt. We adapt.
You got to,
Those
man.
Sky Dwarves were great for 6 months, and now they're not so great. Guess what? We just adapt. We go down to the Volcano Brothers underneath on the bottom shelf, and we're still good to go. We just adapt. We roll with those punches.
We had Series 10 in Gen 8.
Yeah.
There was no Dynamax.
That was fun.
I popped off harder than ever in 3v3s because it's like...
It was awesome.
I was
It was
literally
refreshing for a little...
It was,
break.
yeah.
But for right now, Teras are here.
Yep.
Teras are super, super fun. So, any closing thoughts on Teras? Where are you feeling? Where's your head at?
My biggest thing with Teras I want to say is that I'm glad it's not what we thought it was going to be.
How do you... this is a flag in the sand, not in the concrete. This is not cement. But right now, how do you feel about Terastallization as the gimmick for the whole generation? 10 being you love it, 0 being you hate it.
I think it's good.
So, like, Dynamax was the thing for 8th gen. This is the thing for 9th. So, how do you feel now? You've got your hands on it. You feel real good about it now.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Oh, okay, saucy. I did not think he would go that high.
Especially in VGC because...
Okay.
There's more workarounds because you get multiple options on the field.
Yep.
The gotcha moments don't hurt the overall...
As much.
Like, morale of the game. And it's not like... When you terastallize, it's not like... You know, there's no things like Airstream or Max Geyser.
The HP was great. The HP for me was what it was.
Yeah.
I utilized that a lot.
So did I. I felt like it was a get out of jail free card.
I abused the fact that we had double HP and Dynamax came. Like, I really abused that. That was very powerful.
It felt like a get out of jail free card.
You could just live
we don't have
through
it anymore.
You just live through hits that you weren't supposed to. Now you actually have to play around it and play better, I guess. Does that make sense?
Ironically, the most used thing for Terastallization is to, like, resist moves, which basically doubles your HP.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
Exactly. There you go.
It's the same thing. But yeah, what about you?
I like it. I was going to go 7. So you actually beat me. You gave it a... Well, I like it. I like it. Dynamax, I gave a 7. This one I give... But you... I don't want to be like a bandwagon jumper here, but, you know, I kind of feel like it.
There's plenty of room.
I think it is fun. I feel like 7 or 8 is super respectable. I'm somewhere on the fence there.
The fact that it's getting suspect tested on Showdown means there's plenty of room on our bandwagon.
Yeah, so I am glass half full for sure.
Same.
I like it, and I'm glad it's here to stay. I'm really excited. If there is a 3-month series where there's no terastallization in the future, bring it on.
Yeah, I won't cry. I'm not going to cry.
I accept all challengers. I'm not worried about it. I roll with the punches. I'm competitive. I'm a master in my own right. I'm confident in my own skills that I'll just roll with it for 3 months and come out the other side having learned something, whether I get my teeth kicked in or whether I'm doing the one kicking or if it's somewhere in the middle. I'm going to learn and I'm going to get better.
Our resolve will be tested when restricted Pokemon arrive. Just kidding. We're going to play.
Inner peace. When home drops, ladies and gentlemen, that's why you want to be subscribed to the channel, because as soon as home drops this spring, wow, we are on the road right now to 1,000 subscribers. We thank you so much for your appreciation. We appreciate it. We want to make sure that you guys Stay healthy and stay warm in this winter season if you're on this side of the world. We appreciate the support. We want to make sure that we try to hit that 1,000 before home. You want to stay subscribed and don't miss out on any of that content. From here until then, we're going to be keeping up with our how to use set guide series, as well as we're going to put out 3v3 and VGC content, both on Showdown and cartridge. Make sure that you hit that bell button to stay notified every time we put up more content on the channel.
All right, Justin, I couldn't have said it better myself. So with all of that, we are going to go blue. Until next time, I've been Zero.
And I'm Justin.
Council's adjourned.